Finally out. Days after crashing, an MTA bus has been removed from a Brooklyn brownstone.
A little bit of a fall feeling this evening, what you can expect by morning ahead.
New York Live with the restaurants giving you a taste of Peru right in our backyard. This is News 4 Now for June 11th. I'm Natalie Pasquarella. The MTA bus that crashed into a Brooklyn brownstone has finally been towed away. Shoring had to be installed to prevent that building on Lincoln Road in Prospect Lefferts Gardens from collapsing when the bus was pulled out. The bus had been lodged into the building since Monday. Investigators still trying to determine what caused the driver to lose control. Well, there are two more places where New Yorkers can get vaccinated now. One is at the Empire State Building, where vaccinations will be offered for 4 hours every morning through Sunday. At the College of Staten Island, you can get your shot and take part in the state's Vax and Scratch program. Now, this program offers lottery tickets with a chance to win up to $5 million. A popular Jersey Shore bar that's been serving customers for more than 8 decades is shutting its doors for good. The owner of Shamrock Beef and Ale in Wildwood is now selling the city's Old Irish pub. He accepted a settlement with the state after allegedly violating COVID protocols. Now everything in the bar must go, and you have a chance to own a piece of that local history. The doors will reopen this weekend to the public for the liquidation sale.
You know, after being into legal fees of over $100,000 to try and save this, I mean, I got to stop the bleed and the cash going out. And it just came to a point where, you know, I didn't see any way out of this.
That bar first opened way back in 1937. Again, the big sale is this weekend if you want to buy a piece. It was a special night for some Washington Heights residents seeing their neighborhood on the silver screen. A select group from the community had a private screening of In the Heights right where it premiered during the Tribeca Festival at the United Palace Theater. And not only did they get to watch the movie, but they also heard from the movie's creator. Lin-Manuel Miranda and author Chiara Alegria Hudes gave remarks before it all began. Residents who were invited were so excited and proud to be a part of the story.
I feel like it's very inspiring for a lot of people and a lot of us that are from here. So yeah, it's just an amazing opportunity to be able to, when I saw it be filmed and now seeing it on camera, it's very exciting.
In the Heights is in theaters and on HBO Max now. The movie expected to top the box office this weekend. Connecticut loves its pizza, but the state's still not ready to change it to the official state food. Some lawmakers were pushing for that change, which, as you can imagine, caused a feud with neighboring states, New York and New Jersey. But it didn't make it to the table before the midnight deadline at Wednesday night's 2021 legislative session. Lawmakers say there's always next year. All right, let's talk weather. The week started off so hot and sticky out there, but we're ending with cooler temps.
It really was a different way to end the week, certainly, than how we started it. If the start of the week was more like August, we're finishing maybe feeling a little bit like September. But it is quiet weather-wise. Temperatures slowly falling into the mid-60s by later on this evening, and then by about midnight, 64 degrees. We do hang on to that cloud cover where we may see some showers, especially early evening across central and South Jersey or into the northern Hudson Valley. There's still that chance to see a little bit of sun peek through before it sets in parts of the Hudson Valley and Connecticut by later on tonight and into tomorrow, though. More clouds than anything else, and the rain should be around us. Maybe a sprinkle or two by the afternoon. That should be just about it. Otherwise, mostly cloudy. Temperatures cool once again. We keep that low humidity. 61 in the city, into the 50s from Poughkeepsie to Monticello and out on Long Island. Into the 50s from
only about 3,400 miles from the city. New York Live with why you don't have to leave the city to taste the best of what Peru has to offer.
Peru was awarded the world's leading culinary destination for 8 straight years. And I just returned from a week-long adventure there, and I'm obsessed. So today we're headed to a few places to show you why Peruvian cuisine is so special. And our first stop is at Hora in Long Island City, Queens. Alex, what makes Peruvian cuisine so special?
I would say that it's two things. First of all, it's our history. Because of what Peru has gone through, we've had a lot of immigration from different parts of the world, and that has influenced our food in different ways. Not only that, but at the same time we have a very, very rich soil, so we're basically able to grow almost anything in Peru all year round.
All right, Alex, you brought out a really nice spread here. What did you choose?
We have anticuchos, which is veal heart skewers that are marinated in ají panca and then they're grilled. We have lomo saltado. It's basically the fusion of Chinese and Peruvian food. Causa, which is traditional from Peru, is going to be a potato puree that has ají amarillo, which is a Peruvian chili. And then in Peru, we always choose different toppings for that. You can do seafood, you can do vegetables. In this case, we have grilled corn.
Well, Alex, this was all delicious. Thank you for teaching me so much more about Peruvian cuisine and feeding me as well.
Wonderful.
Cheers. Next up, we're at Mission Ceviche on the Upper East Side. Chef, tell me what you serve here at Mission Ceviche.
We call it New Peruvian Cuisine because we take all these beautiful roots of Peruvian cuisine and bring it to New York as a cosmopolitan or fusion presentations and flavors.
So let's talk about ceviche, because that is like the thing from Peru.
Ceviche is this mix between seafood and fresh fish, fresh lime, chili peppers, and corns.
And what's the most traditional type?
So this one right here, which is the catch of the day, is pollock marinated with a tiger meal. With tiger meal is basically the citrus, the marinade of the ceviches. And then we got the salmon ceviche, which this is represent more as a fusion. And I recommend to close your eyes and save your ticket to Peru.
Wow, every single bite is incredible here. And I love the vibe. It's such a cool place. Thank you so much for having us,
My
Chef.
pleasure,
I can't wait to
Lauren.
come
Thank
back.
you very much. Always your house, your home.
To millions of kids and adults who grew up reading Marvel comics, Stan Lee was the father of their heroes. He, along with artists like Jack Kirby, created the Avengers, Hulk, Spider-Man, Black Panther, and the X-Men, among so many others. Once restricted to the pages of comic books, those characters are now part of the most successful series of films in history, films which Lee had cameos in until he died in 2018. Just like many of his creations, Stan Lee was from New York City. His hometown honored his amazing gifts to the kids in all of us.
3, 2, 1.
It was a marvelous sight for 6-year-old Caleb, who watched in amazement as Stan Lee's name was permanently attached to this Bronx avenue.
Do you like superheroes?
Yes.
And who's your favorite?
Hulk.
The Hulk?
It's a dream come true for all the kids out there that want to be superheroes.
Cajun Corporon knew she had to bring her son down to Thursday's unveiling.
Stan Lee was a kid from the Bronx, and we claimed him as one of our own.
After all, Stan Lee is practically a fixture in the family's home.
How cool is it that the guy who created your favorite characters also grew up in the Bronx?
It's really cool too.
Does it inspire you?
Yeah.
Now he's learning how to read and write. So on the stories that he writes, he'll write like pow or wow, those things.
He may have created some of the biggest superheroes of all time, but to so many, Stan Lee was also a hero. He grew up here in the Bronx, and his work an inspiration.
I love Stan. You know, he was a good guy. He gave me an opportunity, and I ran with it.
Just ask Tom Siaka, a comic book artist and writer who worked for Marvel and alongside Stan back in the 70s.
He was a great guy. I can't say enough about him.
Did he inspire you to want to get into comics?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Ray Felix also grew up in the Bronx. He too drew on that inspiration.
You have to continue the legacy. You need people need hope.
Stan attended DeWitt Clinton High. Here's his yearbook photo.
It's a huge deal for someone like myself.
The school's principal, also on hand for the ceremony, he says the comic book characters helped him find a voice growing up.
Stan Lee meant so much to so many of us.
I think it's a great honor for Stan to be honored like this, and for people to know that Stan was from the Bronx.
I'm Adam Harding, News 4, New York.
Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you next week.